I don't know what it did this time. I'm tired. I'm pissed off. It's whatever. All right, it's Wednesday morning. I think I've got the truck all ready. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned, we had to have the windshield replaced because it had a crack in it again. And they couldn't get the windshield wiper off because somebody had JB welded it on. So I had to bring it home. We didn't realize it was JB welded, but I brought it home, ended up taking it off, seeing that it was JB welded. So now what I've done is I've drilled a hole through it and I ran a bolt through it. So anyways, we got everything finished up on the trailer and everything, I hope. This is how I ran the wire for the dump valve. I put a little connector on a wire and then we ran the wire up into the cab. I'll show you guys the button here in a second. Here, I'll just go ahead and show it to you now. Ran it up into the cab here. And this thing, when we bought this, came with an extra button. So I just put the extra button right here. So now when I hit that, it dumps the axle. Pretty slick. Lita's just loading up the truck. Like I said, today's Wednesday. We're trying to plan on coming back here and being here for the weekend again, so we can get more things ready. Because once you're gone from your house for so long, there's just so much, everything piles up. There isn't enough hours in the day to get everything done, especially if you do everything yourself like I do. Let me switch this thing around. Especially if you do everything like I do. Now, if you take your truck off to get it worked on or whatever, I don't know. To me, that's if it's something you can do, it's kind of proactive, counteractive, because now you're spending money that you could be saving. I don't know. I guess if you're good at working on stuff, work on stuff. If you don't know what you're doing, you're probably better off paying somebody else because it may take you 4 times as long and you might make more money driving. According to my repair bills, I probably make more money repairing my stuff. Like them charging me $4,000 to replace that oil cooler. I could have had that done a day. We had the turbo and the manifold pulled off and replaced all of that in a day. So that would be like I made $4,000 in a day, minus parts. So anyways, we've got a load picking up in Valdosta, going to South Carolina. It's like 300, barely over 300 miles. Rates still suck. Brokers are still trying to get semi trucks for $250, $260 a mile, which is should be absolute bare minimum for people. But it seems like people are jumping all over these $250. I mean, right before the 4th of July, it was nothing to get $6 a mile. And not for a short little run like you see sometimes where it's like, oh, 100 miles for 600 bucks. No, it was like 600 a mile from Georgia to South Dakota. So, which I know it's not always going to be like that, but if people would stop buying the wood because it's overpriced and they would stop taking these loads because they're underpriced, we need to start voting with our dollars. So anyways, see you guys in a bit. Wow, there's shipping and receiving right there. Oh shit. So they need him back at those doors over there. And a guy came out and told him to back at those doors. And we won't be able to pull over there until these guys get loaded or unloaded. And we got another truck behind us. Waving at us. I didn't even see him waving at us. Just trying to miss that corner. Man, that's a tight little place here. Well, welcome back to the truck, babies.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your time off?
Yes.
So, we already have an issue. So, we went to back out of the neighborhood, and I flipped my thing to dump my valve. And as we were pulling out, I went to go turn it off, and I noticed the light was already off. And I'm like, what's going on with that? So we pull over alongside of the road, and I check in, it popped the fuse. I put a 10 in there. I was like, okay, well, maybe a 10 isn't enough for it. So I popped a 20 in there, flipped it, popped another one. So evidently something's wrong. I ran that wire along the air hoses that run along top of the braces, and then the boards sit on all the braces. So I don't know if that wire got pinched already or what, but that's annoying.
Yeah.
Didn't even get out of the neighborhood, and it's already messing up. I noticed too, after I dumped it, that the tires are touching that metal plate back there.
Yeah.
Is that going to affect when we're backing up? I don't know. Will it be even worse with a load on? I don't know. I wonder if I should dump the bags on the truck so that it kind of pivots that up. Because if this is the truck and this is the trailer, and I dump this, that should pull that up and pull the back of the trailer up. But I didn't even get to test it out. I don't know where that guy's going.
I have no idea.
I don't know. They said we're going to be a bit. I'm going to plug this camera back in. And
Why is it going to be a second?
supposed to be some house wrap because they're training people. And the main forklift driver's out with COVID. So he said this guy right here has completely screwed everybody. He says normally people pull out and strap down out there. He says, but this guy's been here all day long strapping this stuff down. Which, I mean, it takes a while to strap stuff down. This is
But like if I don't know, if you pull over there, then you block all the trucks coming in here.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's supposed to be 27,000 pounds. Going somewhere. Where did I say it's going to in South Carolina?
I don't know.
Somewhere in South Carolina. Like I said, it's like Columbia, South Carolina. It's like 300 something miles. Short little run. It's 12:30 right now. So we should be able to get there tonight, be unloaded in the morning, grab something else. I don't know if I should go ahead and have them start looking for something back this way. I don't know. We'll see you guys in a bit.
In the heart of creation, where nothing is real, where nothing but potential steers the wheel. Can you do what you want to do?
So like I said, they said they got a bunch of new people working here today. We've been sitting here for probably, man, it's been a while. But I've been watching these guys try to figure out how to get their product out of this this door here and onto the trailer. And so far they've failed pretty miserably. They've tried it sideways, they've tried it long ways. It's like they can't get their forks under it or something. Mason's got us another load from South Carolina back to Georgia, so we should be home for the weekend again.
I believe that it's rare.
I don't know.
Only red-hairs people do that. rabbit not many weeks old. Eat some greens and show some trust to a perfect stranger. Then I wanna feel and see more, but I'm trapped inside. I'm a prisoner of the past, though I know that things don't last. I'm going home, but I don't know the way. If I'm lucky, I'll live halfway. If I'm unlucky, I only have today. What kind of wicked plan is this? Needs to be shown, there's nowhere to be known. In the desert lands of the Western Kingdom leaves me cold. Gone is the old, long live the old, and I'll never do what I'm told to, unless the voice comes from within, combined with a notion of begin. The inner room is cold and I'm dead and numb, deaf and blind. Oh, it's been too long since I heard life's true song. A worry for my soul. Golden days, so many ways. Lost my way. One's enough.
All right, so here's what we got. What a mess. I don't think I can ever come back here again. These guys just can't run a forklift. I mean, it's hanging off the side. I asked him to put this one in the middle and he almost pushed this whole stack off. Like, this is crazy, man. I think this has to be tarped. Lita went to go grab the paperwork. These are 1,150 pounds a piece. So it's like 25,000 pounds, I think. So this is just crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. The people that they have running these forklifts have no idea what they're doing. Let me get this tarped, or strapped at least. All right, this camera's about to die, so we're gonna make this short and sweet. Do a quickie here. We all like a quickie. Whew, it's so hot. I am miserable. I don't know how hot it is, but my skin is melting off. I can't believe how hot it is. Oh, I should put a bungee here. Yep, I need to put a bungee there. We should be good. All right, we're gonna clean up and hit the road. Well, we just made it to a let me put this light on. We just made it to a Pilot or a Flying J or something. Wow, there's not much room on there for that. Let me try something else. What if I stick it on the side here? Yeah, so we've stopped for the night. It's well, it's now 10 o'clock. I think we got here at 9:30. Eating some of Lita's delicious spaghetti with sausage in it. You ever been to a truck stop and you see someone trying to back into a spot and it's like a big 30-minute ordeal of trying to of them trying to back in?
You gotta cut to the right.
No, it's counterintuitive. You gotta cut left.
I know how to drive. Stop looking at us! Ah, hell, we're gonna be on the internet. You know what? Screw it.
Well, that was just me. So it's kind of narrow between the trucks. Maybe I'll show you guys in the morning because it's pitch black right now. There's two drop trailers directly in front of us with an empty spot right in the middle. And I'm trying to back in across from them. So I figure I'll just swing in between those two trailers and then back straight into the spot that I'm in right now. Well, I pull all the way in and my trailer is still crooked. And I'm like, my nose is like right on the ass end of the truck that's parked in one more row further from me. So I'm like, well, shit, there isn't enough room in here to straighten my trailer up to bring it straight back into the spot that I'm trying to get into. I was like, so I'll just back out and we'll have to find another spot, right? Well, you know how I told you, if you've never driven a split axle, I figured out what's wrong with the dump valve, by the way. I guess let me touch on that really fast. Where I drilled the hole in the front of the trailer up by the glad hands, when I was wiring that up, I pulled that wire too much. I purposely left some slack in there with the way I ran the wire so that the boards wouldn't sit on it and pinch it. And evidently I pulled on that wire too tight, trying to get all the slack out of it. Now you can look under there and you can see the wire goes over top of the beam but underneath of a board. So evidently, I remember the last thing I did before we left was I climbed up on that deck, strapped down the tarps, and that's right where the wire is. So evidently when I strapped it down, it pulled that board down where that tarp was sitting on it and pinched that wire and ground that wire out. That's why that's not working. Those boards take a big Phillips head bit to get off. And guess who forgot the Phillips head bit at home? Anyways, so I'm pulling up between these two trailers in front of us, and the trailer's not straight enough to where I can just back into the spot that we're in. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna back out of here and find something else. sometimes when you're pulling this step deck, or any step deck, I'd imagine they're the same. I'm sure this isn't like some special step deck that's retarded. Sometimes it'll follow the front axle, sometimes it'll follow the back axle. It seems like, I don't know what it did this time. I'm tired, I'm pissed off, it's whatever. So I'm trying to back out now, and I'm having a blindside back out between these trailers. So I have Lita get out. And for some reason, no matter how hard I cut my tires trying to push that trailer back that way, it's slowly pushing the ass in closer to the trucks on this side. So now I'm stuck. I'm stuck in a predicament. I'm pulling up and I'm trying to back. And that ass end of that trailer is slowly getting pushed closer and closer to these trucks. No matter what I do, no matter how hard I turn this wheel, no matter how close I get to the trailers on each side, I can't get that trailer swung back out enough, facing the way that we came in, so that I can just say, abort, pull out. Can't do it. I'm sitting there forever. I can't figure it out. Luckily, one of the guys to the trailer to the left of me as I'm pulling in shows up to come get his trailer. And they're trying to walk me through it, right? I won't lie, I'll listen to you. If I'm doing something wrong, if you see me cutting my tires wrong, he's like, oh no, you'll get this. Just cut your wheel. He's like, yeah, come on, you got plenty of room. And he's like, oh no, stop. You're too close to these trucks. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's what we've been saying. Pull.
What's in this water?
Where'd you get that? You just went and bought a water?
I had to, dude. Our water's hot.
No, that's fine.
Our water's hot. I needed to cool.
Pulls me up a few more times. Tries to direct me back again. Same thing, only worse. So he ends up back into his trailer, which he was going to do that anyways. And he pulls forward out of his spot. I thought he was leaving, so I'm sitting there waiting on him. And I was like, I guess he's just hooking up to the trailer and he's going to stay here for the night, which that's what he was doing. I didn't realize that. But he pulled forward, and that allowed me to snake my truck up into his spot and then back over into the spot that I was in to straighten up my trailer so that I could come straight back into the spot that I'm in now. So if he wouldn't have showed up, I don't know what we would have done.
We would have been sleeping there.
We would have been sleeping, probably blocking the trailer to the right of us. Yeah. The truck wouldn't have been able to back into his trailer. And my face, I'm sure my face is red right now, but I'm sure I was just beat red. I'm just mad as hell. Like, I spent all day long wiring up this dump axle so that I could have an easier time backing up, which I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. Because after hooking up the truck, when I was testing it out, I was touching it to a battery. I had a car battery underneath the trailer, just making sure it was working, letting it down. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, well, these tires are still technically on the ground, but it must be just because the truck's not hooked up. Well, I hooked the truck up today and I do it, and I walk back there, and the side that was in the grass in the yard, the tire was the deck, the metal part that goes over top of the tires was sitting on top of the tire. I'm like, well, that's not good. Is that going to give me an issue when I go to back up? I don't know. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, so I have no idea. But it's frustrating because I spent all day with that, and then me pulling on that wire when I was putting a connector on it. Pinch that wire, now it just pops fuses. So that's something, I don't know if I told you guys, we've got another load going from South Carolina. I think we got an hour and 15 minutes of deadhead. We're picking up a load of lumber, going back to Georgia. What's the name of the place?
It's Utahville.
Utahville?
Yeah.
in Georgia. That's not the name of the place. Manor.
The Georgia one.
It's like right over from Homerville, which is like 30, 45 minutes from the house, which is fantastic. We've got a good rate coming up here. It was only 300 miles. We've got like another, I don't know, it'll end up being a couple more than 300 something miles going back. It's supposed to be a load of lumber, no tarp. They're going to load us to the max. It's like whatever, I get to go home for the weekend. So if somebody parks to the right of me tonight and nobody leaves before us, I don't know if I can get out of this spot. It's so narrow between us and the trucks up there. I don't know how we'd get out of here.
I don't think anybody's gonna park near us unless they come the other way.
If I would have I came all the way to the back and this way, and there was a middle aisle that I skipped. If I'd have went through that middle aisle and then came this way, there was a bunch of spots back down that way. This thing just went to sleep. That I could have backed in on my driver's side. But then I seen them trailers. I'm like, oh, I've got this. I've got this. It's frustrating. Like, I just want to pull my hair out. Like I said, one minute I think I have this trailer figured out. Next time I back in, I don't have it figured out. In fact, when we went to leave our house today, normally I pull to the road that's over us and then I back onto our road and then we leave. We couldn't do that because people were parked along the street. So I had to back all the way out of my neighborhood and then blindside back out. And that wasn't that big. That's when I figured out the dump valve wasn't working. So, fun. They're going to unload us at 7 o'clock in the morning. I could throw a rock and hit the place where we're at. We're that close. Spaghetti is fantastic, baby. Don't put it up. I'm gonna want seconds.
Do you want more of this water?
Not right now. We don't have Fat Butts with us. She's going under the knife tomorrow. She's getting these like tumor balls growing on her. And we scheduled her appointment. She'll be going in at 8 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully she does okay. She's gonna be there with my oldest, Mason. She's not crazy about the boys. I mean, when we came home, she was kind of excited to see them because it had been so long. But I think us being gone, she's and not taking her to the vet, she's gonna be a little weirded out.
And she's gonna be loopy. She did not like...
She was weird when I went and picked her up for that first one.
She did not like that anesthesia.
She was weirded out. Anyways, I've been talking for 12.5 minutes. So, I'm gonna eat some spaghetti. And,
We're going to bed.
we're going to bed. It's gonna be weird not having Fat Butts in here. Will I still sleep on the top bunk without Fat Butts here? Because that's why I sleep up there. It's because Fat Butts is down here. She likes to lay on top of me. And I flip-flop too much. But am I going to sleep up there?
Probably.
Lita thinks probably.
You said this mattress hurts your back.
No, we put that foam topper on there.
Yeah, you said it was a little better.
Alright. Alright. We'll see you.